happy to have Daniel Ross, joining us from
Well,
Vin, Italy, the largest wine collection and gathering in Europe, right? One of the largest in the world.
it is. It's certainly the largest Italian one, gathering far and away, and it's very, very important here in Verona. I'm standing outside of the building. I'll see if you can take a look at it for Sicilia. And so they have buildings for each region that are major regions, like Sicily. And across from me here is the Veneto, where they make their famous Amarone and Ripasso. And Tuscany, Piedmonte, Sicilia are the three biggest displays here in Italy. Very, very important. People from all over the world come here. I've been visiting in Sicilia today, met to Federico from Firiato, Gianluca from Alcantara, who you've talked to, and I had to taste their wines because that's the business I'm in, and eat
Of
their
course,
food. I mean,
someone
you
has to
know,
do it, right?
yeah, other people it's pleasure, for me it's work. Okay, I mean, and more tonight. But it's great to see people and really understand their products and what they're doing by talking to them. But this is a very important show. For 2 years, it was canceled because of COVID. So it's back here now in Verona, uh, and it's really something.
Now, Daniel, the two wines that you mentioned, Firiato and Alcantara, are Firiato actually has a vineyard in the Etna slopes and also in the province of Trapani. And those are some of the wines that are on your website, winesfromitaly.com. I want to know, how did you choose those two wines?
I chose them because from Etna, Tiriato is an iconic winery of Italy. They're a great, one of the greatest wineries. So uh, they have wines in Marcella, Trapani, and on Mount Etna. So I met them at Vin Italy here, talked to them, met the family, talked about importing their wines and selling their wines. And so I met them here at Vin Italy a number of years ago. Same way with John Luca. Alcantara is also an iconic Mount Etna winery. I met them here, and I have visited both of the wineries, and it's just really fantastic.
And Alfred and I had the pleasure of visiting both of those vineyards and interviewing the guys, and we'll have an episode in a future date and tasting some of those wines. And the wines from Etna are far different. Their complexity is very different than other wines from other regions, partially because of the complexity of Etna, right? Because Etna uh, gives all these, I'm going to say hurdles, but really they're challenges for a winemaker to overcome to make those wines, right? How would you say the
Yeah,
wines from Etna are different than other regions?
it's sort of like an island within an island because Mount Etna, you have the high altitude of the mountain. That's all volcanic soil, so it's very mineral soil. And on top of Mount Etna, as you know, there's snow 5 months of the year. So you really have a cooler climate than the rest of Sicily. I sort of think it is like Italy's Burgundy. And the wines have some of those characters that are fantastic. And because it's so different, the mineral soils, the high elevation, and the world has really been focusing on Mount Etna wines in the last few years. Of course, they've been growing them for a long time, but there's a real focus there.
Now, Dino, talk about some of the other wines from Sicily that you are finding there. Maybe some new ones, maybe some unique ones that you have found in your trip right now. And I know we're talking
Yeah,
to you on the first day of Vin Italy, so you still have quite a ways to go. But so far, what have you seen? What have you
well,
tasted?
I've tasted some sparkling wines from Firiato. So they make them in the champagne method. And some of those are like 100% wines from Mount Etna that they make into a champagne style wine that I think is really fantastic. And those are becoming more popular throughout the world. I've also went to Alcantara, and their Etna Rosso, they have a pre-phylloxera Rosso, which means from old vines that are like 150 years old before phylloxera had not infected those vineyards. So been in the Veneto to an Amarone producer. They have a great Amarone, a great Ripasso, a great Corvina. really like them. We met some old friends too at the Campagnolo winery in the Veneto, and multi generation. I met the next generation of Campagnolos. I started out with Luigi, then Giuseppe. Now I've got Andrea. That's how long I've been around.
Where does your passion for wine come from?
Well, my father, I used to make wine with him as a child. Our family's from Molise, so I would be called a Molisana. But so it's part of our family tradition, and I just took to it. I just liked it, and I think when you like and enjoy something, it's really not work for you. It's not work for me. It's just fun. So with
I hear
somebody
you
else,
on that.
it might be a job, but for me, but also I get to travel throughout Italy, eat and drink, meet wonderful people. I mean, not too bad a job.
What does the future of Sicilian wines look like?
It's very good. I've talked with people that were worldwide dealers in wines, and without me mentioning it, they mentioned that Sicily is coming up. The top three are, of course, Piemonte with Barolo, Barbaresco, the Veneto, the Amarone, Tuscany with its great wines. And he thought that Sicily was number four now. It's risen. It's really moved up, and because it has such a diversity of grapes there. And one of the things that's great is their white wines are so refreshing, crisp, and clean that uh, that has really captivated the world. But when you think of it, you live there, and they've learned how to do that. That people, it's warm there. People want something refreshing when they come in from outside, and they've learned how to do that over the last 20 years with just education and gaining of knowledge.
But you just fell in love with Sicily.
I did. It was sort of the last place I visited, like a lot of people. You go to Tuscany, you go to Venice, and the last place I came to was Sicily, and I was surprised how beautiful it is, and how much I really liked it. I mean, I find that with other people that have traveled to Italy, maybe you have too, that they go to Tuscany first, okay, and then they go to Sicily and they go, wow, the cuisines are different, the wines are different, people are a little bit different, and it's just very interesting.
Bravo. Okay, enjoy your time
Okay,
and hope one of these days we'll get to meet in person. I know you're going to Sicily next, but I will be there for another week. Winesfromitaly.com is the website. Ciao, Daniel. Thank you so much for your time.
thank you, thank you. Buona giornata.